one where you go from this into this hybrid, and have you done this into this hybrid, which is the other version of it, right? Let's do the one where the left hand is doing the extension. Both are in overhand still, yes, only with this one, the left hand is doing the in-spin while the right hand is doing the anti-spin. And if you start them both at the bottom, you can do it where the left hand will go back while the right hand goes forward, and it works beautifully just like that. Go in-spin with the left, so your left will go back, and go anti-spin with your right, so your right will go forward, so that you start it off, yes, 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 exactly. And then you can get back down to the bottom, and then you can do the other one. So the right hand goes back, and the left hand goes forward. And then you can come back down to the bottom, and you can switch, and come back down to the bottom and switch, and come back down to the bottom and switch, and come back down to the bottom and switch. And then do it so that you are only doing one count of each one, and switching every time. And if you can't get it immediately, then you just build up to it by doing however many repetitions of, so if you're doing this one to start with, okay, now I get down here, okay, I'm gonna switch, so it's this, right? And then you gradually just take out the extra beats, either at the bottom or in the extra flowers, or both. I showed you one version there where I'm going from the right hand is doing the in-spin, to the left hand is doing the in-spin, to the right hand is doing the in-spin, to the left hand is doing the in-spin. But if you wanted to, you could do something like 4-pedal anti-spin, and then reverse so that you're doing the 4 verse 0, then you reverse back into the 4-pedal anti-spin, and then you do the other 4 verse 0, and then back into the anti-spin. So you could do any permutation or combination of switching between those all. You just have to know each of the individual reversals. And you just added another beautiful element to it. You could do the 4, you could do the 4 verse 0, you could do the 4 verse 2. You could do the 0 verse 4, or the 2 verse 4, or the 4 pedal. All of them, all of the things. I think you also did in there the 2-pedal horizontal like this. So you could throw that one in there, or you could throw the vertical one in there as well. And then there's even a hybrid where you could do a 4-pedal. So I'm doing a 2 versus 4 now, but my 2 is vertical versus horizontal. My left hand is going top to bottom. Oops, that was bad. Top. It's much harder to talk and do it. While the right hand is doing the 4-pedal anti-spin. There are many variations. It's really, you're limited by your physiology, your time, and your imagination. To view correctly is to be able to comfortably go from here, where the right hand is doing the 4-pedal anti-spin and the left hand is doing the extension, to here, where the left hand is doing the 4-pedal anti-spin and the right hand is doing the extension. So you're changing which hand does each. And I think what you figured out pretty quickly is your arm gesture is this. They both go up, they both come down. They both go up, they both come down. And then you reverse and go the other way. And reverse and go the other way. And reverse and go the other way. Let's do 5 more. And then 4 more. And then 3 more pairs. And then 2 more. And now last set. And then let's do left arm drills. Let's start with the left arm in overhand. So here's the drill. We'll go all the way around overhand, then reverse at the bottom to anti-spin, then reverse at the bottom to in-spin, then reverse to anti-spin, and reverse to in-spin. Reverse to anti-spin, reverse to in-spin, reverse to anti-spin, reverse to in-spin, reverse to anti-spin, reverse to in-spin, and we'll do 5 more sets. So anti-spin, in-spin, that's 1. Anti-spin and in-spin, and that's 2. Anti-spin and in-spin, and that's 3. Anti-spin and in-spin, that's 4. And anti-spin, in-spin, and down. And now let's do the other hand, same drills that we just did. We'll start in overhand and 5, 6, 7, and anti-spin and around, and switch to in-spin, switch, anti-spin, and reverse, in-spin, anti-spin, and reverse, and down, reverse, and down, reverse, and down, and reverse, and down, and anti-spin, in-spin, anti-spin, in-spin, anti-spin, in-spin, 2 more sets, anti-spin, in-spin, last set, anti-spin, and in-spin, and down. I would start with the one you're less comfortable with, which I think right now is the left hand doing the extension and the right hand doing the 4 pedal. And then just start by doing it. And then when you're ready, notice that place on the bottom where both point would meet and where you get the opportunity to switch direction. And notice that bottom point, and then notice where you can switch direction. And then notice that bottom point and notice where you can switch direction. And continue to do that until you can, all you're doing is just